What's going on, y'all? I was gonna make a post earlier. Went to the school board meeting yesterday, and my spirit has just been wrong. I guess from the moment I actually showed up, saw the agenda, saw what was on the agenda, and then I guess being the only individual sitting in the room, whether it be a taxpayer, whether it be a parent, whether it be alumni, whether it be a teacher, educator, whatever. I was the only individual in the room at yesterday's board workshop, Alief ISD board workshop. Now, I'm specifically talking about Alief, but this is not an Alief message per se. This is an education message. This is our community message. So, went to yesterday's board meeting, and again, I was the only one sitting in there that wasn't paid staff from the district, and they voted on something that was very, very, very critical in a matter of 5 minutes. They went into executive session for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, of course, because they didn't want me to hear all of the conversation that was going on. Then they came out, and in less than 5 to 7 minutes, they had voted on something that tremendously impacted our district. So I'm gonna start by saying this. When my son was younger, I bought him a game called Connect 4, right? And we've all done this, or you can play Monopoly or whatever, but I bought my son a game, Connect 4. And I told him the rules, right? Provided him the rules. Of course, he couldn't read them or understand them, so his understanding of the rules was whatever information that I gave him, even though I provided him the instructions and how to play and told him exactly what he needed to do. So we played Connect 4, right? And because of my experience, because of my age, I was able to let him win, right? I was able to let him win. And then when I decided I wanted to win, I was able to invoke my ability to win. In other words, my experience in the game of Connect 4 allowed me to dictate whether I would win or lose, whether my son would be a winner or a loser, right? Same thing happened with my daughter, my son and daughter. My daughter discovered tic-tac-toe. Brother, come on, let's play tic-tac-toe, right? Because of his age difference with my daughter, he was able to determine whether his sister was going to win or lose against him in tic-tac-toe, right? Simple. It doesn't take rocket science. This is the type of manipulation that is taking place in school board meetings. This is the type of manipulation that is taking place by administrators at the school board meetings, by the superintendent, by the school board members. Even the manipulation going between the superintendent and the school board members, right? The superintendent is in the district every single day. It's kind of like if you come in my house right now, and we're both sitting in this room, and I say for $1 million, I'm gonna put $1 million on the table, right? And the first one to get to a Phillips head screwdriver in my home gets to keep that money. I have an unfair advantage. I'm here all day. I know where it is, right? You got the same opportunity to the Phillips head screwdriver as I do, but I got an unfair advantage because I'm here all day. Nobody would think that that was fair, right? But unfortunately, when we get into education and policies and procedures and politics, everybody acts like they don't know what unfair advantages is or are. And this is exactly what took place yesterday. So I'm not here to make a video about what happened yesterday yet, but I just want to lay the groundwork that our absence in the policies and procedures and school board meetings is allowing the same manipulation to be done in real life that we invoke on our kids, on other members, et cetera, et cetera. So I try to use, I'm not artistic. I don't have the ability to draw or paint, but I do have the ability to paint pictures with my words. So I'm trying to give you an example. We're going to talk history and bring this all full circle. Now, I promise I'm probably going to be long-winded on this because I'm just so hurt and devastated behind the shim-sham that's going on in our education system. So, give you another prime example. I like to watch, there was the secrets revealed, magician's secrets revealed, right? We all know magic is not real, right? I know magic is not real, but I watch these illusions, right? Illusions take place. and I'm unable to catch the sleight of hand, even though I know it's trickery. Unable to catch sleight of hand, even though I'm looking directly at it. So they built this show called Illusions Uncovered, or whatever, Mysteries Uncovered, and they show you exactly how the illusions are done, right? And you're like, damn, that makes sense, right? And why couldn't I catch that without it being broken down? That's the same type of magic and illusion that's going on in these school districts with your tax money, with your children's education, with the professional and personal professional privileges that individuals are invoking over you. That's why I'm constantly going to the school board meetings. It's never a problem until you start speaking up. It's never a problem until you become woke. That's when you become public enemy number one. I'll give you a prime example, and this is not a race thing. Again, I've used my children. I've used the game of checkers. Connect Four, the game of tic-tac-toe. I've talked about illusion. So I'm just talking about giving an example of why knowledge is so important. And think back in the days, again, this is not a racism thing. I'm just using an example. Think back in the days of slavery, right? Slavery. Now imagine having someone, you working right now, you go to work every single day to earn money. Most of us don't like going to work, whatever. So imagine you have someone that wakes up early in the morning for you, goes to work for you, earns your check, comes home, cooks dinner, goes to the gym, works out for you, and you reap the benefits. Your bank account goes up, they work out, you get weights, they cook, you eat, right? Imagine having those type of benefits, right? That's the type of stuff that was going on with slavery, is because they were having slaves in the field working for them, establishing economic wealth for them, and they didn't have to do anything. They weren't required. As a matter of fact, they were property. They weren't even humans. So back in the day, if you were a slave and you ran away, what would they do? They'd beat you, right? If you didn't work, what'd they do? They beat you. If you didn't work fast enough, they beat you, right? If you got sick, you didn't really feel like doing too much, or you didn't even pull your load, maybe somebody else was working faster than you, they beat you. But the moment they found out that you were trying to learn how to read or write, what'd they do? They didn't beat you. They killed you. You know why? Because knowledge is power. Knowledge was power. So imagine, again, we talked about ourselves having our own personal worker that would go to work for us, cook for us, go work out for us, and we would reap all the benefits. Imagine the type of distress, the type of fear that you would have to kill off that individual that's going to work for you, making your money for you, going to the gym for you, cooking dinners. That says a lot, right? That says a lot that you would interfere with the productivity of your capital because you were fearful of that individual or individuals gaining knowledge. That's the same type of fear that happens today. And again, it has nothing to do with race. Those who have the knowledge fear those that are not knowledgeable. And I'll give you a prime example. Again, knowledge is king. Knowledge is power. 66% of our students in Alief ISD, I'm just talking about Alief, but you can run the data. Go to TEA, Texas Education Agency, and run the data yourself. 66% of our students are not reading on grade level, right? 34% of our Alief teachers have 0 to 5 years experience teaching. 83% of our students are economically disadvantaged. 43% of our students in Alief are English as a second language, meaning that English is their second language, not their primary language. And 33% of our elementary schools are an improvement required. Now, we all know that education and the criminal justice system kind of go hand, not kind of, they do go hand in hand. So if 66% of our 46,000 students are not reading on level, right, and 83% of our students are economically disadvantaged, what does that say about the teacher? I mean, what does that say about the parents, right? They probably don't speak English at all, right? they're probably they are economically disadvantaged. So imagine, again, going back to the scenario of me putting $1 million on the table and racing you to find a Phillips head screwdriver in my house. Imagine the game that's being ran on our community because they, one, don't have the ability to understand the politics that are being played in the school board meetings, right? The politics that are being played inside the schools, inside of the classrooms, right? It's a whole bunch of things that are going on that affect our community because of our lack of involvement, right? They know that when we have a school board meeting that Damon Barone is going to be the only one sitting in the audience. They know when we have a school board meeting that none of the teachers are going to show up. In fact, I've heard it with my own ears when I was an educator in Alief that they specifically tell teachers that they don't want them to go to the school board meetings. That's why they're not there, because they're told by administrators, it's kind of frowned upon, you shouldn't really go there, we don't really want you there, da-da-da-da-da. They explicitly said they don't want the teachers there. But guess what? They're making decisions that involve you every single day. That boardroom should be packed with bus drivers. That boardroom should be packed with custodians. That boardroom should be packed with teachers. That boardroom should be packed with students. That boardroom should be packed with business owners. That boardroom should be packed every single time. But they know you won't be there, and they're taking advantage of that. And so my heart is heavy, because guess what? At the end of the day, when education goes down, crime rate goes up, right? When education goes down, businesses move out of the community, right? So everything that goes on in that board meeting affects you, whether you own a home, whether you rent a home, whether you're a business owner, whether you don't have kids. You can be 80 years old. A lot of people say, well, I don't have any kids in the district, I'm not worried about it. Well, guess what? When little Johnny come climbing through your window because he's skipping school, now you got a problem, right? When Tyrone break into your car, you got a problem. So education absolutely is everybody's crux that we should be worried about. So it doesn't matter if you're 80 years old and retired. It doesn't matter if you live in Alief or not, because guess what? When they finish robbing over here in Alief, what they going to do? They're going to come over there to your community and break into your house. So it's not just Alief students, failing students and passing students don't just do criminal activity here. They travel around. So you should absolutely be involved in what's going on in education. So this is HISD, this is spring. Any community that you live in, that's where you should be spending a lot of your time worrying about what's going on with the education, and stop believing the information that's spoon-fed to you. I'll give you a prime example. We'll go outside. I'm going to go outside of education because everybody act like they don't know what you're talking about when you point the finger at the education. So there's a proverb that goes, give a man a fish, what? He'll eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish, he'll eat every day. Okay, so everybody gets that. It makes sense. Yeah, we believe in it. But watch this. When it comes to school and education, we allow the district to give us a fish. They give us the information that they want us to have. And everybody goes, oh, look, you got a 98% graduation rate. That's great. That's the information that they gave you. What they didn't tell you, yeah, they got a 98% graduation rate, but they got a graduation committee, which means that they look and they pass individuals on to graduation, right? So on paper, 98% looks good, but really maybe only 30 or 40% of the 98% actually earn their graduation. Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach him how to fish, he'll eat every day. Stop allowing the district to spoon feed you the information that they want you to see. Ask them where they get the information. How did you run that report? Where can I run that report? Where on the TEA, Texas Education Agency website, can I run that report and see that number? Right? Trust but verify is what Ronald Reagan said, right? Famous line from Ronald Reagan, trust but verify. That's why I put hashtag trust but verify on most of the things that I do related to my Alief posts, because they're going to tell you one thing and it's going to look a certain kind of way. They're going to give you a narrative that they want you to digest. but they will never, ever, ever tell you where to look and find the information yourself. They will never, ever tell you where to look and verify the information yourself. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. You should be tired of it. More importantly, I'm tired of being the only one in the room. I'm tired of being the only one hearing things. I'm tired of being the only one appearing to be interested in what's going on in our community, right? Because at the end of the day, our involvement or lack of involvement involves everybody. It involves my children, it involves your children, it involves your tax money, it involves your your property taxes, it involves the businesses in your area, it involves the economic development in your area. So we absolutely got to start taking this education thing serious and stop allowing individuals to tell us the scenario that they want us to believe, right? I've given you a lot of examples outside of education. Education, guess what? It's just a smaller microcosm of the real world. That's why when I sit there and see them voting yes on everything, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. That doesn't work in the real world, so why are you doing it in our school district? You wouldn't do your finances like that at home. Do you budget your finances like that? No. Do you do your money? Do you write your checks like that at home? Absolutely not. So why do you come to my district and ruin our community, ruin our tax money with the yes vote on everything, not asking any questions? It doesn't make sense, and I'm going to hold you accountable for every vote that you make, every vote that you don't make, the information that you put out, the information that you don't put out, and I suggest that everybody else start doing the same, because guess what? Whether we show up or not, they pulling the shim-sham. They pulling the shim-sham. And I'm not going to lie to you, it took me a while to kind of figure out the game. It's kind of like when I taught my son how to play Connect 4. It took him a while to figure out how to beat me. Guess what? But when he beat me on his own. It wasn't because I let him, right? I honestly tried to win. But me playing my son over and over and over again, he developed skills by continuing to play his dad. He developed skills to where I couldn't beat him if I wanted to, right? I'm being honest. I couldn't beat him if I wanted to because he practiced, he showed up, he continued to play. That's the same thing we got to do in these school board meetings. That's the same thing that we got to do being involved in our community. We got to keep showing up. Yeah, we're going to take some ass whoopings. We're going to take some losses. They're going to pull some shim-sham. They're going to pass some things that we missed. But guess what? The more you show up, the more you continue to be in the room when the conversations are happening, the better educated you'll be, the wiser you'll be, the more questions you'll have, and quite honestly, the more you show up, the more disappointed that you'll be. You'll have a difficult time not showing up. That's why I go every time. I have a problem not showing up and finding out what kind of shim-sham Alief ISD under the leadership of Superintendent Henry David Chambers and the school board of Alief ISD is going to pull if I don't show up. I want to get the first-hand information. That's why they're mad at me. Every time in my patron presentations, when I quote things, I give them the date and who said it. Why? Because I want you to trust but verify. You don't have to believe me. Go back and look. That's why, again, I don't tell you what to hear or what to think. I tell you go hear it for yourself. During blah, 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 school board meeting, Trustee Rick Moreno said, blah, 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 school board meeting, Trustee Darlene Bro said, during blah, 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 school board meeting, Superintendent Henry D. Chambers said, right? That's me being as transparent as, that's me doing the unveiling of the magician's tricks, right? Maybe you didn't hear, maybe you didn't get a chance to show up, but I'm going to tell you where to look. Another thing that I had a problem with, and I wanted to show y'all in my video, you notice how they live stream Trustee Jennifer Keeson, right? Now, what happened when the community asked to broadcast or live stream the entire board meetings? They said, hell no. Why? Because knowledge is power. They don't want you in the room. So it's okay to live stream this school board meeting and that signed up to be a school board meeting, but obviously life happens to them. They can have excuses. Life can happen to them where they can have a family emergency or need to take care of some things at home and can't come. But we as parents, we as community members, we as business owners can't be busy to where you think enough of us to live stream the board meetings for us. No, why? Because they don't want you in the room where the decisions are being made. You gotta think, wake up. They explicitly said no, they will not live stream the school board meetings so communities can be involved. That's unacceptable. But they don't have a problem taking your tax money. They don't have a problem getting paid for your child sitting in that seat every day. Don't have a problem with that, right? They don't have a problem giving themselves raises for not listening to your voice, right? The mission statement, the board's mission statement, the vision statement, the policies and procedures of the district, the employee manuals, the student handbooks, all that stuff says that they will include the community. It's not happening. It's lip service, right? And unfortunately, we're not making our voices count. We're not showing up at the polls. We're not voting. We're not showing up to the school board meetings. And that's why it's an organized crime unit. That's why I use the phrase organized crime, because they know what they're doing. So let's take it back to the context of playing Connect 4, right? If I was playing my son Connect 4, right, nobody really got a problem with me manipulating, winning or losing. But the moment I start utilizing it, gambling off of it, let's say I start gambling my son's lunch money, right? And I start playing him. And when he loses, I take his lunch money, right? And so he brings his friends over, right? And I play them in Connect 4 and I take their lunch money, right? Now it's a problem. It's not only immoral, unethical, it's illegal. So the things that the school board is doing by the inside, they call it inside trader information in the business world. So the unethical things that the school board and superintendent chambers and the rest of the administrators are doing is unethical at worst, but then it moves into being criminal because they're manipulating tax money. They're doing things by inside information, inside trader information. Remember, it's just a smaller microcosm of the real world. It's not just Alief, right? You have to be involved. You have to be involved in the conversation. You have. I equate it to. I tell people knowledge is like eating barbecue in all white. I don't care how careful you try to be, and you can trust but verify. Eating barbecue in all white, no matter how careful you are, you're gonna get a barbecue stain on you somewhere, somehow. It's impossible to eat barbecue in all white and not get a stain on you. It might be a little stain, might be a big stain, might be your whole shirt or your pants. The same thing is with knowledge. It's impossible to be around conversations where knowledge and information is going on and you not get some of that knowledge spilled on you and be able to take that with you. I may sit in a board meeting for 3 hours and leave with one tidbit that carries me for another 10 years. It was worth it. It was worth my 3-hour wait. It was worth my 4 hours giving up sitting in the board meeting bored to death. Because that one little nugget is a game changer. That one little nugget changes the whole dynamic of my understanding of why I need to be involved and why so many other people need to be involved. So, union members, y'all need to start coming to the board meetings. Union representatives, y'all need to start coming to the board meetings. Parents, y'all need to start coming to the board meetings. Business owners, y'all need to start coming to the board meeting. Students, y'all need to start coming to the board meeting. Teachers, custodians, bus drivers, hell, even the yard man needs to start coming to the board meetings because they are making decisions that affect your lives. They are making decisions that affect your economics. They are making decisions that affect your community. Whether you live in Alief or not, they affect your community. Because guess what? When people start moving, when people start migrating, right? They come into your community. Whether they're good people, bad people, whatever. When they start migrating, they come into your community. right? There's no better way to strengthen a neighborhood, a community, or whatever than to strengthen the education system, to strengthen the education of our community, strengthen the education. That's why HCC got it to where now senior citizens can attend college for free, right? Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, and don't let anybody control what information you get. You got to start seeking that knowledge on your own. Ask questions. And nobody expecting you to come to the board meetings and know everything or even understand what the hell they're talking about. But guess what? It's kind of like when I pop up on your kid at school, right? Pop up on your kid at school, right? Let's show up when they didn't know you was coming in. Everybody in the classroom, sit up straight. You ain't even a parent. Same thing happened at the board meeting, right? Show up. They go from leaning like this because it's just Damon Barone in the room to, we got more people in here. We better try to conduct business properly. But guess what? They so used to not conducting business properly that even on their best day, they fail. They've been doing it wrong for so long that they don't even understand that they operating out of order. Don't even understand that they operating outside of Robert rules of order. But guess what? 84% of my community is economically disadvantaged. They ain't expecting me to have that knowledge, right? Damon ain't supposed to know all this stuff. What does he know about Robert rules of order? What does he know about policies and procedures, right? He's just another one of them Alief community members. We know they can't read because we got 66% of them don't read on grade level. So we know Damon Barone can't read. Oh, he can read? Oh, he is trying to educate himself? Gotta cut him loose, right? We gotta discredit him. We gotta do everything that we can to attack his character, to attack his personality, to defame his name, to discredit his words. That's what you're up against, right? Mahatma Gandhi was crazy. Now we celebrating him. Mother Teresa was crazy back when she was fighting. Now we celebrating him. Martin Luther King was crazy back then when he was fighting. Now we celebrating him, right? Chavez was crazy. Now we celebrating him. So everybody that used to be crazy back in the day for standing up for their rights, right, get celebrated later on. Sometimes you gotta have a sacrificial lamb, right? Everybody that's standing up for something ain't angry, right? They're just doing what's right. It's harder to do the right thing than it is to do the wrong thing, right? If I was so crazy, come talk to me. If I was crazy, why the hell would I put my phone number on the internet? Why would I go to the board meeting and post my phone and say my phone number, give you my address, right? Give you my email address if I had something to hide? Because I stand behind everything that I say. I challenge you to contact your senators, right? I challenge you to contact your school board members. I challenge you to contact your superintendent, right? Ask them to give you their home address. Ask them to give you their phone number. Ask them to give you their email address, and I bet you they won't, because they want to spoon feed you the information that they want you to give. They want to talk to you when they want to talk to you. They don't want you just picking up the phone and reaching out to them and asking them a question, right? I don't have a problem doing that because I stand behind everything I say, and I'm not running from anything I say. Fact check me, trust but verify. 281-752-6823. Home address is 3423 Cascadia Drive, Houston, Texas 77082-1441. Contact your senator, tell them to do that for you. Email address Damon_Barone@hotmail.com. Reach out to your school board members and see if they give you their phone number and home address and email address, right? You got John Wynn. I'm going to give you their names. Reach out to them and see if they give you their information. John Wynn. Then you got Rick Moreno, right? Then you got Darlene Bro. Then sits H.D. Chambers. Then sits Ann Williams. Then sits, who's next to her? Jennifer Key. Natasha Butler, right? And Lily Trump. Reach out to them and see if they give you their information. I'll wait. I'll wait. In the meantime, trust but verify. We got to start doing better. Our community depends on it, right? And our lack of involvement, they're taking advantage of that. And they know exactly what they're doing. Just like me racing you to the Phillips head screwdriver in my home for $1 million. You tell me I was crazy. That's the type of business that's going on every single day in our school district. So I said I wasn't going to be long. Well, I did say I was going to be long. I had to get some things off my chest. And I'll go into explanation later of the school board meeting, of the decision, the impact of the decision that they made in less than 5 to 7 minutes. But I just wanted to make a plea to our community that we got to start getting involved in things that matter, right? We post on Facebook, right? We'll do a whole bunch of posting on Facebook. We'll do a whole bunch of posting on Twitter and this, that, and the third. But you won't put your butts in the seat at the school board meeting. And that's all that matters. They don't give a damn about your post, right? They laughing at that because at the end of the day, your post ain't stopping nobody from getting elected. Your post ain't stopping nobody from voting the wrong way at the school board meetings. Your post ain't stopping them from writing policies and procedures that affect certain people. It ain't bothering them at all. You got to start showing up to the school board meetings. You got to start asking questions in the school board meetings. You got to start calling your school board representatives. You got to start calling your superintendent. You got to call your state rep. Hell, you might even have to go to Austin and lobby or advocate. But what I'm saying is, what we're doing right now is not working. And we doing it one by one ain't working. Hell, if you need me to come to your district and show up at your school board meetings, y'all got my phone number, you got my address, hit me up. You got my email address, hit me up. Whatever we do, we got to do it together. Because this right now ain't working. This not working. And it's not going to work. It's not going to work for us. That's all I got to say. Damon Barone, I'm gone.